Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Radha Madhava Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Vallabha Girivardhari. Yasodanandana Braja Janarandana Udanandana Janarandana Yasodanandana Braja Janarandana Yasodana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yasodanandana Braja Janarandana Sodanand Jasodanandana Braja Janarandana Sodanand Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Jayam Vishnupad Brahmahamsa Parivrajikacharya Asatar Satashri Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Shikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Shai Mukunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dhama Ki Jai. Mathura Dhama Ki Jai. Navadvip Mayapur Dhama Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dhama Ki Jai. Gangamaya Jamuna Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pacharne Nivasesa Sunyavadi Paskatyade Satarane Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Ta Panchakalpadubhishchaki Pasindabhyeva Patitanam Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So it is the 23rd of December, 2019, and we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 2, Text 41, and this is in Chennai. Kam vayum agninam salilam mahim cha. Kam vayum agninam salilam mahim cha. Jyotim si satvani disho munadim. Sarit samudrams cha harir shariram. Yat kim cha bhutam pranayed ananya. Please chant. December 23rd, 2019 in Chennai, Srimad Bhagavatam 11:241.
Yatkim cha bhudam pranamet ananyaha. Kam vayum agnim salilam mahincha. Kam vayum agnim salilam mahincha. Jodim shi sattvani diso dhrumadi. Sarit samudram sahare shariram. Yatkim cha bhudam pranamet ananyaha. Yatkim cha bhudam pranamet ananyaha. Kam vayum agnim salilam mahimcha. Jodim shi sattvani diso dhrumadi. Sarit samudram sahare shariram. Yatkim cha bhudam pranamet ananyaha.
Kam, ether, vayum, air, agnim, fire, salilam, water, mahim, earth, cha, and jyotishmi, the sun, moon, and other celestial luminaries. Sadvani, all living beings. Dishaha, the directions. Druma adin, trees and other immovable creatures. Sadit, the rivers. Samudran, and oceans. Cha, also. Harahe, of the Supreme Lord Hari. Shariram, the body. Yat kimcha, whatever. Bhutam, in created existence. Pranamet, one should bow to. Ananyaha, thinking nothing to be separate from the Lord. So this, is everybody okay with English? You are translating? Everybody here? English? Good, you are translating? Okay. This verse is very significant for those who want to remember Krishna all the time. And this is a repeated theme throughout the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam. Translation: a devotee should not see anything as being separate from the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Ether, fire, air, water, earth, the sun, and other luminaries, all living beings, the directions, trees and other plants, the rivers and oceans. Whatever a devotee experiences, he should consider to be an expansion of Krishna, thus seeing everything that exists within creation as the body of the Supreme Lord Hari. The devotee should offer his sincere respects to the entire expansion of the Lord's body. Somebody tell me, what is this saying? Yes, everything in the universe is part of the body of God. And therefore, everything is worthy of our respect. Purport. This is another 1, 2, 3, 4 page purport. Most of this purport is about how this doesn't mean everything is God. So that is basically the essence of this purport. Because everything is part of the body of God, that doesn't mean that we are worshiping the chair as God. But we'll read through the purport. Srila Jiva Goswami has given this example from the Puranas. Yat pasyati tatu anuragati stayena jagadhana mayam lubdaha kamuka kamini mayam itivat harer shariram. Because of a greedy person's obsession with money, wherever he goes, he sees an opportunity for acquiring wealth. Similarly, a very lusty man notices women everywhere. In the same way, a pure devotee should see the transcendental form of the Lord within everything, since everything is an expansion of the Lord. It is our practical, now I'm just going to repeat exactly the same thing. It is our practical experience that a greedy man will see money everywhere. If he goes to the forest, he will immediately consider whether it would be profitable to purchase the forest land and sell the trees to a paper mill. Similarly, if a lusty man goes to the same forest, he will look everywhere for beautiful women tourists who might happen to be there. And if a devotee goes to the same forest, he will see Krishna there, knowing correctly that the entire forest, as well as the sky canopy above, is the inferior energy of the Lord. So this is a very important point, and please hold this point as we go through the purport, that what we see depends on our mentality. It's not that what we see creates our mentality creates what we see. This is actually a well-established fact in modern psychological studies. Our beliefs, our desires, create what we perceive. It's not that what we perceive creates beliefs and desires. It's opposite. Going on with the purport. Krishna is supremely sacred, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and since everything that exists expands directly or indirectly from the body of the Lord, everything is sacred when seen through the eyes of a self-realized person. Therefore, as stated in this verse, pranamet, one should offer one's sincere respects to everything. Srila Jiva Goswami has mentioned that we should see the personal form of Krishna everywhere. This is the basis of ecological awareness, that everything is sacred. The temple room is sacred, but you know what? The parking lot is also sacred. Going on with the purport. This verse does not approve of the impersonal atheistic philosophy that everything is God. In this regard, Srila Madhvacharya has quoted from the Harivamsa, Sarvam Harer Vasatvena Sarinam Tasya Bhanyate Anayadhi Pativakcha Tad Ananyam Udiryate Nachapya Bedo Jagatam Vishnu Purna Gunasyatu. Because everything is under the control of the Supreme Lord Hari, everything is considered to be His body. He is the original source and master of everything, and therefore nothing should be seen as different from him. Nonetheless, one should not foolishly conclude that there is absolutely no difference between the material universe and Lord Vishnu, who is full of his own unique spiritual qualities. The example is often given of the sun and the sun's rays. The sunshine is nothing but an expansion of the sun globe, and therefore there is no qualitative difference between the sun and its rays. But although the sunshine is situated everywhere, and although everything is a transformation of the sun's energy, the sun globe itself, the source of the sunshine, is not everywhere, but is situated in a particular place in the vast sky and has its own specific form. So here it's saying everything is an expansion of the sun's energy. Correct? So here in Chennai, everybody eats a lot of rice. What is rice? What is rice? It's a seed. How did the rice plant produce the seed? What is the food for the rice plant? What is the water, minerals from the soil, and sunlight. Moonlight also. But primarily sun. The plant is eating the sun and it's turning it into rice. Sun, water, and earth minerals, and yes, moonlight also, and oxygen. Then we're eating the rice. And our body transforms the rice into our hair. Yes, your hair, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, it was rice. You understand? Yes? Your hand, this was rice. And before it was rice, it was sunlight. The body is a transformation of sunlight. When we leave the body and we burn the body, how is it fire comes out of the body? How you burn a body? Where does the fire come from? That fire was the sun. When you're burning the body, what is coming out? The flames, the heat, the light, that is the sunlight. And also there's some smoke, that was the water, and the ashes was the minerals from the earth. So everything and the whole earth is a transformation of sunlight. And what is the sun? The sun is a little reflection of the Brahman effulgence of the Lord, and it is the eye of the Lord also. Going on, if we penetrate further into the sun globe, we shall find the sun god, Vivasvan. Although pseudo-intellectuals, you know what this word means, people who seem like intellectuals, but they are not actually. Although pseudo-intellectuals of the modern age, who are incapable of even counting the hairs on their own heads, will consider the sun god a mythological figure, it is actually the foolish mythology of modern men to think that such a sophisticated apparatus as the sun, which provides heat and light for the entire universe, can function without intelligent administration. Transformations of solar energy make life possible on Earth, and thus the Earth can be understood to consist of an endless variety of secondary manifestations of all-pervading solar energy. So within the sun planet is the personality Vivaswan, the chief administrator of the solar functions. The sun globe itself is localized, and the sun rays expand everywhere. Similarly, Sri Krsna Shaimasundara is the original personality of Godhead Bhagavan Swayam. He expands himself as the localized supersoul Paramatma in everyone's heart. And finally, he expands his potency by his personal bodily glow, the all-pervading spiritual effulgence called the Brahmajyoti. Just as all life on earth is a transformation of the all-pervading rays of the sun, the entire cosmic manifestation is a transformation of the spiritual rays of the Brahmajyoti. As stated in Brahma Samhita 540, Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagananda Koti Koti Svasesha Vasudari Vibhuti Binam Tad Brahmanishkalamananta Matesh Bhutam Govindamari Purusham Tam Maham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is endowed with great power. The glowing effulgence of his transcendental form is the impersonal Brahman, which is absolute, complete, and unlimited, and which displays the varieties of countless planets with their different opulences in millions and millions of universes. Therefore, the Brahmajyoti is the spiritual light that emanates directly from the body of the Lord. This universe is a transformation of that spiritual energy. And therefore, everything that exists is, in one sense, connected directly with the personal body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is very logical. Everything here is a transformation of the sun. The sun is from the spiritual Brahmajyoti of the Lord. Therefore, everything is the energy of the Lord. And therefore, everything is ultimately spiritual. Sarva kalamidam Brahma. Going on, it is emphasized here that we should offer respect to everything that exists, recognizing it to be the energy of the Lord. The example may be given that if a man is important, his property is also important. The president of a country is the most important person in the country, and therefore everyone must respect his property. Similarly, everything that exists is an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and should be respected accordingly. If we fail to see everything that exists as the energy of the Lord, we risk the danger of drifting into the Mayavada philosophy, which according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most deadly poison for one trying to advance in spiritual life. Mayavadi Basya Sunile Haya Sarvanasha. CC Majja 6169. If we try to understand Krishna alone, without the expansion of his potency, we shall not understand such statements in the Bhagavad Gita as Vasudeva Sarvam and Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. As already explained in this chapter, Bhayam Dvitiya Bine Shata Sat. Fear or illusion arises from thinking that there is something not dependent upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now in this verse, the specific process for overcoming this fearful illusion is given. So this is this very specific process. How can I see Krishna everywhere? How can I be free of fear? Here's how to do it. One must train one's mind to see everything as that exists as an expansion of the potency of the Supreme Lord. One must train one's mind. It's not happening automatically, magically. It requires some effort. By offering respects to everything and meditating upon everything as part of the body of the Lord, one will become free from fear. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 5:20, Suridam Sarvabhutanam, Krishna is the well-wishing friend of every living being. As soon as one understands that everything that exists is under the powerful control of one's most beloved friend, one comes to the stage in which the whole universe becomes a blissful abode, Vishram Purna Sukhayate, because he sees Krishna everywhere. Srila Prabhupada writes in Krishna book, chapter 20, that the materialists see the world as very aggressive and the devotees see everything as very happily situated. Going on, if Krishna's personality were not the source of everything, and if everything were not connected to Krishna, one might be proper in concluding that Krishna's personality is a material manifestation of some impersonal truth. As stated in Vedanta Sutra, Janmadhyasya, the absolute truth is that from which everything emanates. Similarly, Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava, I am the source of everything. If we see anything totally disconnected from the personal body of Krishna, we may doubt whether Krishna's personality is actually the absolute source described in the Vedanta Sutra. As soon as one feels this way, he becomes fearful and should be understood to be under the control of the Lord's illusory energy. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has warned us that if we do not see everything as a manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we shall become victims of Falgu Vairagya, or immature renunciation. Whatever we see is disconnected from Krishna will have in our mind no relationship to Krishna's service. But if we see everything is connected to Krishna, we shall use everything for Krishna's satisfaction. This is called Yukta Vairagya. According to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, quote, one who has experienced his own true identity understands that all things exist as paraphernalia for giving ecstatic pleasure to the Supreme Lord. Thus one becomes free from the separatist vision in which one sees the world as existing for one's own enjoyment. In the transcendental state, whatever a devotee sees reminds him of Krishna, and thus his transcendental knowledge and his bliss increase. Because the impersonalist philosophers fail to see everything as belonging to the personal form of Krishna, they reject this world as having no true existence, Jagan Mithya. But since the material world is an emanation from the supreme reality, Krishna, it does in fact exist. Its non-existence is simply a creation of the imagination, and one cannot possibly act on such an imaginary platform. Therefore, having proposed an illusory theory and being unable actually to live on such a platform, the impersonalist comes back to the material platform for altruistic or gross sense gratificatory activities. Since the impersonalist does not accept the personal proprietorship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he does not know how or for whom to engage the things of this world. And since it is impossible to reject this world totally while living within it, he runs the risk of again becoming entangled in material fruitive activities. Therefore, stated in Bhagavad Gita 12.5, Klesho dikasharate sham. The impersonal path of imaginary philosophy is very painful to follow. The conclusion is that this verse is spoken to help the devotee of the Supreme Lord advance in Krishna consciousness. It can be understood from the previous verses of this chapter that the ultimate goal is pure devotional service to Lord Krishna. If one falsely interprets this verse to sanction the imaginary Mayavad philosophy that everything is God, one will simply become bewildered and fall from the path of spiritual advancement. I'd like us to keep in mind that this verse is in the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam. The glorious pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan have already been described. So why isn't Sukadev Goswami simply telling us to meditate on Krishna's Vrindavan Leela? Why is he also telling us this? Kam vayum agning salilam mahim cha. Jyotishmi sadvani disho drumadim sarit samudrams cha harer shariram yakim cha bhutam pranamed ananyaha. Harir shariram. The body of the Lord is also Kam, which is sky, Vayum, air, Agni, fire, Shalilam, water, Mahim, earth, Jyotishmi, anything that has light, Disha, directions, Druma Adin, trees and the plants, Sarit, the rivers, Samudram, the oceans. These are also the body of God. Why is he telling us this? This was back in the second canto. Universal form. Actually, there's 2-3 chapters in the second canto about the universal form. But now we have heard of all the avatars. We have read of Vamandev, Buddha, Krishna and Vrindavan, the Singha, Varaha, Parashuram, and who's in the back? Kurma, Ram. So why are we thinking about the rivers, the oceans, the sun, the earth, the air, that this is the body of God? We are above this now in the 11th canto. You would think, yes. Now we can just meditate on Radha Krishna, Lalita Vishaka, Radha Krishna Chandravali, Gaurnitai, Nrsingadev, Govardhan, Shalagram, Jagannath Balaram, Subhadra, Sudarshan also. Huh? Somebody I've missed? And Prasadam. You want me to end the class now? Someone is hungry after Ekadasi. So why are we meditating? Why in the 11th canto is the Bhagavatam say, meditate on space? Because, you see, this is so practical. We're living in this world. We were talking the other day how everything that we do can remind us of one of Krishna's transcendental leelas, yes? We were speaking that the other day. You remember? We can do that. Definitely we can do that. We can see space and we can think, Varaha was in space. We're looking at the great sky. We have such a nice view of the sky here, yes? not impeded by buildings. And you walk to the ocean. Yes, you took us to the ocean the other day. We were seeing the ocean, the vast sky. You look at the sky, you can think, Varaha was in the sky. Krishna took Arjuna on his chariot through the sky. Mahavishnu was breathing out the sky. We can think like that. In the ocean, Varaha is going into the ocean. Matsya Avatar is in the ocean. Kurma is in an ocean of milk. Dwarka is in the ocean. Huh? When you look at a pillar, you think the Singadevs come out of the pillar. I should have thought about that yesterday because I was giving class downstairs and there are these big pillars in the middle. And they were a little annoying because it's hard for people to sit. I forgot about Nrsingadev. I should have had you there to remind me. Now that would have been very interesting in the middle of the class if Nrsingadev had come out of the pillar. Hare Krishna. So we can do that all the time. So why are we given this kind of meditation? This kind of meditation is a little different. This is saying we see everything in the world as the body of God. Yes, cha harer sariram. Shariram, the Lord's body. Hari shariram, it's his body. So why do we also have to meditate like this? Well, we're living in the world. You know, it's like I am dealing every day with water. Yes, I hope. I hope you are bathing. Everybody is bathing. You are washing your clothes, I hope, yes? Higher planets, you don't need to wash your clothes, but this planet you need to wash. You are drinking water, cooking with water. Here we are seeing ocean, sky. We are breathing. And it's very difficult for us to think 24 hours just of Krishna's Leelas. That's difficult. Can be done, but it's difficult. We are also aware of the things in this world. So it is absolutely necessary that we meditate on the things in this world as part of the body of God. If we don't do that, we will either try to enjoy the world ourselves separately from God, yes, or we won't know how to use things in the service of God. Right now in 2019, the world is on the brink of ecological catastrophe. Our oceans are full of plastic. Our lands are full of rubbish that doesn't decompose. When I was 16, I traveled in Canada in the mountains with a group of other young people. 1 month. We took a bicycle tour through the Rocky Mountains in Canada, and you could drink the river water. Can you drink the river water now? Yeah. You won't have time to get to the medicine. You will die before you get there. And Krishna will probably not revive you by looking at you like he did with Kaliya. And you go to the ocean, nobody's swimming in the ocean. It's so dirty. We cannot breathe the air. Now, when I was young, nobody carried around bottles of water. Nobody. I mean, unless you were going hiking in the mountains, you know. If you were going to go hiking in the mountains where there was no water, you would bring some water. Usually metal container. Nobody sold water. Nobody sold water filters. It didn't exist. One class I heard Bhakti Chiruswami saying, next thing is we are going to be selling air. Already selling. 5 rupees for 1 hour. I mean, you know, another 2 generations, everybody will carry around their air canisters on their back. We're laughing, but it is coming, huh? Already, you cannot breathe. Everybody has to carry water. Everybody will have to carry air. Our food is all spoiled. Huh? Why? Because we don't see the universe as the body of God. And I'm going to speak very frankly. This philosophy is here in the Vedic scriptures. This philosophy is not in the Bible or the Quran. It is in the Vedic scriptures. And so the people who should be the best example for the world should be here. But I'm going to speak very frankly. Even we ISKCON devotees here in India are a terrible example. Do we want to think of Krishna all the time? Do we want that? Do we want to see Krishna premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shaima sundaramachintra gunaswarupam? Do we want that? I was just hearing Prabhupada say that this morning. To the devotee, Krishna is never invisible. He is visible everywhere. So two things. One is that everything should remind us of Shaima Sundar, his transcendental pastimes. And the other is that we see everything as the body of God. What does it say in Bhagavatam? The sky is the Lord's what? Anyone know? Navel. The sky is the Lord's navel. We know when the Lord breathes, he breathes out the universe, again it goes back in. And Lord Kapiladev says the navel of the Lord, it looks like the universe has come out of it, and again it will go in. So I think everybody can see a little bit of the sky out the window right now, yes? So take a moment to meditate. This is the navel of the Lord. Can you look out the window? Can you see? Everybody can see a little bit? And when you go outside after the class, look at the sky. This is the navel of God. What about the clouds in the sky? What are the clouds? Hair, the hair on the head. So it's like we see Krishna there. Look at that beautiful curling hair. Isn't that beautiful curling hair? Yes? When we sing the Damodarastika, we sing a prayer to Krishna's curling hair. When he dances, the curls also dance. Yes? And you know, before he jumps in the lake to fight with Kaliya, and probably when he fights with other demons too, he takes the curls and he puts them up and puts on a turban. But sometimes some of the curls fall out. So the clouds, they're like this curling hair of the Lord. But you may say, some of the clouds, they are not black. Some of the clouds, they're white. How is that Krishna's hair? Rain comes, they are black. But otherwise, they're white. How is that Krishna's hair? So Krishna's hair sometimes looks white. You know when Krishna's hair looks white? So he's bringing back the cows in the afternoon. And the cows are making so much dust. Hair is covered with dust. And Krishna's hair then looks white. Also, Krishna's hair looked white. Who said that? He said, I am seeing this vision of the Lord. His hair is looking white from dust. Bhishma says, the Lord is coming at me with the chariot wheel. We were just reading, yes, a few days ago, that we should meditate on the Lord holding the chariot wheel. Every time we see the clouds, every time we see the clouds, that is Krishna's hair covered with the dust of the battlefield while he is holding the chariot wheel. And it says the trees and the plants. What are the trees and the plants? Which hair? These hairs. Body hairs. So when we're walking outside, we see the plants And that means we are walking on Krishna's, walking, right? Like sometimes we have a little bug walking in between the hairs on our arms. So we are like that. We are like some little bug walking on Krishna's body. Should not be pulling. You try to meditate like that. It's so sweet. If you're walking through some forest, you're walking through some trees, and you think, I am walking on the body of my Lord. I am on the body. I'm touching the body of God. What about the ocean? What part of Krishna's body is the ocean? Yes. Very great scholar. Very nice. Very nice. You should teach everybody this. Please. The ocean is his waist. Like the waist, it is holding together upper body and lower body, right? And we see the ocean, it is holding together the land on this side and the land on this side. But you know, Krishna, he's always what? He's always dancing, yes? Like we don't worship Krishna just standing. He's curved and he's actually dancing. And we see when you dance, your waist moves, yeah? And when you go to the ocean, you see the movement of the ocean. It is the dancing of the Lord. And on the Lord's waist, he has what? What does he have on his waist? 3 lines. So you can see these are the waves. They are the lines on the belly of the Lord as he is dancing. What else do we have here? Disha, the directions. What about the directions? Anybody know? What part of the Lord's body is the directions? His ears. Huh? When we look in the different directions or you're using your GPS to go someplace, that is within the ears of the Lord. Huh? What else do we have here? Air. Okay, air. Air is very wonderful. So this room is full of air, yeah? Can you feel it? No. Unless it moves. If it doesn't move, and it's pressing on our skin. I never remember this in metrics, but in American measurements, it's 14 pounds for every square inch. So a square inch would be like, what? 4 or 5 square centimeters, and 14 pounds would be how many kilos? 7 maybe? 6. So like 6 kilos of pressure for every 5 square centimeters, something like that. Don't quote me on this, but something close like that. So that's a lot of pressure. Do you feel it? But this is part of Krishna's body. In the same way, Krishna is here, but we're not aware of him. We're not aware. The air is here, it's pressing on us. Krishna is also here. Of course, when the air moves, then we become aware. Sometimes Krishna moves something in our life, and then we become aware. Oh, there's Krishna. Yes, you have your cyclone here, yeah? The air is so subtle. How can it have any power? Normally, we don't think of air as having power. I can take something, I can push it through the air. The air it seems to have no power at all. But the air is so powerful. Most powerful personalities, Hanuman, Bhim, they are the children of the air. So Krishna is also like that. He seems very soft. Seems like he is not powerful. The gopis ask him, carry this heavy thing, and he tries. He He says, I cannot pick it up. He puts Nanda Maharaj's shoes on his head, and he's carrying with great difficulty. He is crying when he is hungry. Oh, but if he wants, he can lift Giriraj and swallow the whole universe. So this air is very soft, very subtle, but so powerful. If it wants, it moves. Whole city destroyed moment, right? Everything. Just you see, sometimes there's a cyclone, whole city finished, yes? Whole country even. What was it? They had one in Haiti not too long ago, and you see the photographs, whole country finished. So it blows the cars. And we're thinking, again, I'm thinking, what is this air? And Krishna says, I'm joining with the air to digest the food. Well, this is also Krishna's body. Yes? The rivers, what are the rivers? What part of the Lord's body is the rivers? The veins. Just like the veins in our body, they are taking the oxygen from our lungs, taking to the whole body, picking up the carbon dioxide from the whole body, taking it out, taking the nutrition from the food we eat, from the small intestine, taking to the whole body, taking the waste to the kidneys and the large intestine. It's moving around everything. So these rivers also, they are moving the nutrients. They are moving the nutrients from the mountains to the plains, building up the deltas, fertilizing the land. So this is what it means to be Krishna conscious. We should not take up Krishna consciousness as a religion. This is my religion, I do my puja, I offer my food, and then I am unconscious. But everything should remind us of the Leela of the Lord and the body of the Lord. So I have a challenge for everybody, but especially here. Please, somehow, can we start seeing everything as the body of the Lord? Not just the murti on the altar. The mountains, what about our car? Are we cleaning our car? Are we cleaning the space outside our home? Where are we throwing our trash? If something's broken outside on the property, do we fix it? Do we clean it? Even in the temple room, do we throw clutter here and there? Is that table part of the body of God? Everything is part of the body of God. Everything. It's not just a question in this purport. The BBT commentators are saying we should use everything in His service. That is true. But this verse is pushing us for a deeper meditation than that. It's not just that I use that table in Krishna's service, I use my car in Krishna's service. It is not only that, it is Krishna's body. Now please listen very, very, very carefully. If it is Krishna's body, then Krishna can feel everything we do with everything. So what is the difference between matter and spirit? Okay? So this cup cover, it cannot feel itself, yes? There's no jiva here. The cup cover doesn't know that Urmila is holding it. But this is part of Krishna's body. So Krishna can feel that I am holding it. It's not just that Krishna can see it. it's part of him. You can think of it like your hair, yeah? So once the hair is out of the body, it is dead. Correct? Yes? But if you touch my bun of hair, I know. Or my nails. Nails are dead. But if you touch my nails, I know you have touched. Yes? Correct? So I am alive. I am conscious of my own body. And Krishna is conscious of my body. With this cup lid, it is not conscious of itself, but Krishna is conscious of it. Therefore, there is consciousness everywhere. Sarva kalam idam Brahma. Krishna's consciousness, Krishna's awareness is in the floor, the chair, the air, the sun, the rivers, the ocean. Everything is full of Krishna's consciousness. If it is matter, it means it is not conscious of itself. But Krishna is conscious of it inside. Not like I am conscious of this, I am looking at it. Everything we do, we are interacting with the Lord. Everything. Not just with the Murti, not just with the name, not just with the Shastra. Everything. So with this philosophy, we should be the most ecologically conscious people on the planet. Is that a logical statement? And it used to be. You know, it wasn't that long ago that everything was with clay cups, unbaked clay cups, and leaf plates. And when you were finished, you threw on the ground, and the cup became earth, and some goat or cow came and ate the plate. And there was no rubbish. I remember. So this respect to everything, this is real. In the purport it's saying the property of God, the energy of God. But this verse is actually deeper than this. This is the body of God. So let us see today how many times we can meditate that this is the body of God. The sky, the clouds, the ocean, the river. Oh, we didn't talk about the earth. The mountains. Mountains are the bones. The earth is Krishna's wife. Everybody, even the atheists, they say, what does everybody call the earth? Mother Earth. Even the atheists, they call Mother Earth. Yes? And then they dig in the earth and they pour their pesticides and chemicals on the earth. But even atheists, they say Mother Earth. Actually, she is. She is Bhumi. She's Krishna's wife. So how much we should take care. So let us try today, at least 5 times today. Or let's see how many. 1 for ether, air, fire, water, earth, sun. We didn't say living being. Directions, trees. 8. So see, if 8 times today, we can meditate on how what we are interacting with is the body of God. And what can we do to actually respect it? Not just, oh, I respect, but actually respect. So that everywhere in our home is as nice as our altar. Everywhere in the temple is as beautiful as the altar. Everywhere. That means even the toilet room should be clean. Honestly, is that also part of the body of God? It says the universal body of God. It also has an evacuating organ. Do you know what is there? Envy, hatred, death, greed. Because those are the things you want to get rid of. Even when we are using the toilet, we can think, oh, this is how the Lord gets rid of anger, lust, greed, envy. Even then we can think about Krishna. You understand? And Krishna is so wonderful. In nature's way, the waste product from one creature becomes the fertilizer to grow new life. Correct? Not that it becomes sewage and smells bad and pollutes everything, but if things are done properly, like I know some devotees for their toilet, they don't use water. They have a toilet outside, and everything becomes again earth. It becomes sanitized, and they can use it in the garden. All the bacteria is eliminated. Yes. But this is how Krishna has designed. So even there's Krishna. Not that our altar is very clean and our toilet room is disgusting. Because it is also part of the body of God. So we may think this problem is so big, what can I do? But everybody is thinking like that. So whatever we can do, it may seem a very small, whatever we can do to think. And then we will become Krishna conscious, actually. And as it says here, relating to the previous verses, we will become free from fear. Because we will see, this is the body of my friend. The body of my friend is filling my lungs, lighting the world, giving me a place to walk. How can there be any fear? So thank you for your patience with these very long purports in this chapter. Oh, tomorrow's verse. Wow! Somehow I have come to Chennai at the right time. Look at this. And tomorrow's purport is only 2 pages. This verse tomorrow, Rukmini was saying this, how there are some verses in this chapter Prabhupada quoted a lot, and the verse tomorrow is one of them. So I'm hoping that I am alive and healthy and I get to
That's why
speak on this.
Prabhupada selected Prabhupada disciples to give the class.
I hope that I get the opportunity. What does Krishna say? Happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly kingdom. So happy are the preachers to whom such verses come unsought, opening for them the doors of prema bhakti. So any questions, comments, corrections, additions, subtractions, chastisements?
If today's purport is being understood properly by ISKCON devotees, there will be no more Vaishnava aparadh. Forget about respecting the animate objects, non-material objects. What to speak of devotees? This teaches us even to respect table and teacups, whatever devotees serving the Lord. So they can't even imagine. It's a different level. It's basic. If you understand this, we'll not even make any aparadh to any devotees.
To anyone ever. We would never make any aparadh to anyone. You know, my daughter is a Bharatanatyam teacher, and they always start the dance with obeisances to the earth. Actually, I know there are many devotees when they get out of bed in the morning, they say a prayer to the earth. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm putting my feet on you. What to speak of the devotees, yes. Of course, we know some people, they are petting the cow and beating their wife. This is, Oh, nice cow. And then their wife, their husband, they are screaming. Yes?
Hare Krishna Mataji. In our flavor blocks, we are walking here and there, all the areas we kept that cement blocks. Is there is so many what is called grass and other unwanted plants, and our car parking also so many plants. We are trying to clean it. So what we have to think about that?
Well, we also cut our hair. That's okay. You are shaving the hairs on your face. Prabhupada didn't want our devotees to have big beards. No, no, no. You think this is the hairs on the Lord's body, but he wants things to be nice and neat and clean. Just like we are arranging Krishna's hair. So that's also necessary. I'm sure Krishna has a barber, you know.
Once,
Then you are Krishna's barber. So you are Krishna's barber, just like someone is cutting the hair and arranging the hair.
Atma Tattva Das, Prabhupada disciple, he was giving a class. In many of the parks, they have plants, they cut the plants in the shape of the animal.
Yeah.
He says, that means you're just cutting the plant half leaf and half branches. Sometimes demigod children will feel we have to play some fun with the human beings. They'll cut the ears of the human, cut the nose, they'll do that. We have to be very careful. Just because we want to see that we should leave their plants to grow up naturally. Why we have to just cut them into shapes?
But we should make nice gardens for the Lord.
Yeah.
When I was visiting in New Vrajnam, so Shiva Ram Swami has done something there in Hungary, very nice. We also have done in Ireland at Innisroth. So something that Prabhupada wanted, but I've only seen it in these two places. I haven't seen it other places, where around the temple they establish all the lila stans. So in the Hungary property, they have a little, it's not even a river. I mean, it's like a creek, a stream, but that's the Yamuna. And they have a very little hill. I mean, very, very little. It's not taller than the ceiling. It's very little, but that's Govardhan, right? And this part of every building on the property, they'll say this building is Rupa Goswami Samadhi. So everything on the property, they have established because they said Radha Krishna are here, Radha Shyama Sundar are there. Everything must be Vrindavan. So this is where the Ras Leela takes place, everything. And you can take a tour of the property and you go to all the places in Vrindavan. So in Innisroth in Ireland, and in Ireland, they'll actually have like the trees where Balaram threw Dhenukasura, and you will look in the tree and you will see Dhenukasura in the tree. But Shiva Ram Maharaj was saying, don't think Radha Krishna are only on the altar. This is their property. They're walking around. So also the gardens should be very nice for them to see. Many years ago, many years ago, when I lived in the old temple in New York, it was big building. It was 11 stories, plus there was a garden on the roof, and downstairs, big restaurant. You could have 350 devotees live there. So, and we had about 300 devotees live there. Yeah, Fifth Avenue. Not Fifth Avenue, 55th Street by 8th Avenue. 55th Street, 8th Avenue. Right by the theater district. Close, not so far, 3 blocks from Fifth Avenue, and very close to the park. Perfect. Hare Krishna. Anyway, so at those days, we were all very young. We were all like teenagers or in our 20s. And our kirtans, you imagine, 200-300 devotees, all very young, and all day we're out distributing Prabhupada's books. To distribute books, you just walk out the door and you distribute books. You didn't have to go anywhere. So the kirtans were very energized. Very, and we had, like Agni Dev was there, Vishnu Gada, so many expert kirtan leaders. So sometimes the Guru Puja kirtan would not stop and there would be no class. It would just keep going. And one day when that happened, these devotees, remember, we were all young. So the devotees left the temple room and they went around the whole building with the kirtan. They went into the downstairs for the restaurant and up to the floors. We had a professional theater. They went to the theater. We had Back to Godhead offices. Then we had 2 whole floors for the brahmacharis, 1 floor for the single ladies, 1 floor for the married couples without children, 1 for the married couples with children, 1 for the life members, guests, and sannyasis. 1 was Prabhupada's floor. They took the kirtans through the whole building, and there was no Bhagavatam class that day. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj was the GBC, and this happened maybe 2-3 times, just spontaneously. He said, let's do this once a week in the evening. So every Monday in the evening, we took the little the Utsav deities in a palanquin, and we had kirtan through the whole building. I mean, this was right in the city, so there was no outside property. I mean, we had a garden on the roof, and we had a garden outside on the 3rd floor balcony, but, you know, there was no land. So they went through the building, and then the devotees thought, oh, the Lord is going to come by my room. So everybody cleaned their room, and the devotees, we would be in the kirtan, but then when the Lord was coming to our room, we would run ahead. This all happened spontaneously. Nobody arranged this. We would run to our room and open the door so the Lord could see our room. And then devotees would offer something, maybe incense or a flower or prayer. And then, like I said, we had different floors. So we had, I think, 2 floors for brahmacharis, 1 for brahmacharinis, 1 for householders without children, 1 for householders with children. I don't know who started this, but one week, everybody on the floor, on one of the floors, decided we're going to do some special greeting. So when the deities came up in the lift and they came to that floor, the devotees did something special. And then the devotees on the other floor says, oh, competition. And then every week on every floor, sometimes we would decorate with balloons. One time we went to the park and we got leaves and flowers. We would chant mantras. Sometimes we would do a drama. And each floor would compete who could greet the Lord the best. So this way we had a Maha cleanup of the temple every week. But nobody said, we are going to have a Maha cleanup of the temple. They said, we are going to have a procession. Yes, it was very nice. We really felt that the Lord was surveying his property. You know, it was very nice. So yes, the Gornitai, I'm sure they are dancing around the property. Definitely. And Jagannath is coming to check what is being served in the restaurant. Very big eyes, and he's looking. He's looking in the kitchen, what is being prepared here. So that we can meditate on.
Also,
yes?
we close the deity altar night time, and we
Yes.
think Lord is locked inside.
No.
He can walk through the doors and go for a night walk.
Mother Yasoda
He can go
also
for a night
thinks
walk
like
and
that.
go just for the village, see the different ashram,
Oh,
how
yeah.
they're sleeping, when they're sleeping.
Yeah. Mother Yasoda also thinks like that. She thinks, now I put Krishna to bed, now he's sleeping. No. Don't be fooled by this.
Also during Kirtan, we may think that he's in the altar. Gaunita can jump in, say the Kirtan and dance also, we don't know.
Yes.
In one of the, he can impersonate some
You know,
devotee.
that happened in Mahaprabhu's Leela. And then the devotee was chasing the deities with a stick. Get back on the altar, you know. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.